PSG.
A very good evening to you and welcome to AFC TV, and this is Ingwe Fanzone. This is the first show of 2021 and I'm very delighted that you are joining me in this exciting show. Karibuni sana. My name is Gladys Midecha and Happy New Year to you, Ingwe fans. Remember, this is Ingwe Fanzone, the show for the fans by the fans. Tuko hapa kwa sababu yako wewe shabiki wa AFC Leopards. Je, unatupata ukiwa wapi? That is what I'd like to hear from you. It is always a pleasure to hear from you, AFC Leopards fans. So write those messages hapa kwenye Facebook, pale YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, and we'll be more than happy to hear from you. So let's begin this show by reminding you about our social media handle pages. Kumbuka, the only way you can be part of this interactive Ingwe Fanzone Show is by following us on our social media handle pages. On Facebook, we are FC Leopards SC, on Twitter at FC Leopards SC, pale YouTube FC Leopards SC, Instagram FC Leopards _SC. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Gladys _Midecha. Karibuni sana. I am super excited. Every time we start this show, I'm telling you, I always look forward to it. Unaona your caption pale, you can see the number of shows we've had, and this is all because you make it happen. So let's start this show by reminding you that the only way you can be part of the FC Leopards family is by ensuring that you have merchandise with you. End up Hale Sawa Mall, Tomboya Street, shop number B7, and ensure that you get yourself an FC Leopards jersey. Kama unataka hoodie, it is also available at a very affordable price. This year is the year where we are marching towards getting the trophy. This is the year where we're going to support the club even more than ever. Our boys need our support, and donning that AFC Leopards jersey is one of the ways that you show your love for the club. So make sure you go to Tomboya Street, Pale Sawa Mall, shop number B7, and get yourself an FC Leopards jersey. And this being January, this is the year, this is the month where we talk about club membership. Remember to renew your membership this January for the rest of the year for only 1,200 Kenya shillings. Whatever branch you belong to, remember to go and renew your membership through your branch. And for the branch members, for the branch officials, you have to ensure that all branches have also renewed their membership. Now, you can check our social media handles for this details. And if you've not joined any branch, there are so many branches that you can sign in and be a member of any branch. Ama kama unaogopa bado unataka kuona ni branch ipi utaingia, you can also register as an independent member. Just being a member of FC Leopards, as I always tell you, ukiona ile kazi ambayo watu wa FC Leopards wanafanya wakikuja pamoja, wafanya kazi nzuri sana. We visit children's homes. The integration that FC Leopards as a club and the kind of integration that we have with people out here is exactly why we fight to be members of FC Leopards. So karibuni sana. Mimi nataka kusoma mnanipata mkiwa wapi. Now. Today in this particular show, we are going to talk about the fans recruitment drive. Now, there's something that has been started by a few fans. They feel that some people want to be part of FC Leopards, and because they've not yet been convinced by which club, rather which branch to join, they just feel, unajua, sometimes wewe ni fan and you're not sure which branch to join, but they are encouraging you and saying, if you are an FC Leopards fan, you're just a fan, this is the time. There's something called a fans recruitment drive that is happening right now. And we want to talk to one Ronald Kahinga to explain to us exactly what this fan recruitment drive is. As you can see there on your screen, it's saying it's an opportunity for fans to officially register with their favorite club. For example, mimi inaweza kuwa ni registered member wa AFC Leopards, labda mimi ni member wa Ingweism branch, ama mimi ni member wa executive branch, lakini my partner is not a member. So what can he do? He says that you can register yourself for this fan recruitment drive and officially be a member. Then from there, they encourage you to join a branch. So if you're still gauging yourself and you're not sure where you lie when it comes to being a fan, I think this fan recruitment drive is what will give you the opportunity to look at the branches that you want to get yourself inclined with. Now, I don't know if we have Ronald online. Well, as we wait for him, let me just remind you to be Ronald.
Yeah.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening, Gladys.
Happy New Year, my brother. Uko vipi?
Happy New Year. Huku tuko sawa huku.
Uko salama?
Yeah, tuko salama huku. Kama wana
ningependa utueleze kama wanachui kabisa, ningependa utuelezee kuhusu fan recruitment drive. Najua mnajaribu ku-encourage wale ambao wako huko nje bado hawajui ile branch ambayo wanataka kuingia. You want to encourage them to register with this fan recruitment drive, right?
Yeah. Sasa hii mpangilio ya hii AFC Leopards Fans Recruitment Drive ni mpangilio ambayo tunataka kuchukua fans wa AFC Leopards Kenya mzima na diaspora. Tuweze kukua nao katika database ambayo unapata hata kama club yetu ya AFC Leopards inataka kunegotiate na any sponsor. Wanakuja wengi wa sponsors huwa wanauliza numbers. Na unapata AFC Leopards iko na fans wengi sana. Sasa unapata hiyo ndio proof inakuja, unapata tuna watu karibu more than 6 million fans AFC Leopards. Unapata tukipata sponsor, huyo sponsor anauliza club ofisi tunataka numbers. Sasa unapata kama hii membership ya 1200 kufikia sasa nafikiria it's around kitu kama 1500. Sasa unajua ukienda kwa sponsor, ukienda kuongea na sponsor kuhusu muoneshe namba yako ni like 1500, unajua bargaining power yako inakuwa chini. Sasa tumekuja na mpangilio, tunataka tutafute fans wetu mahali popote walipo Kenya mzima, dunia mzima, wajiandikishe na AFC Leopards fan member. Na registration yenyewe ni 100 tu. Sasa mtu anaweza andikisha spouse wake, anaweza andikisha mtoto wake, anaweza andikisha mzazi wake, alafu tunataka hizo numbers. Unaona kama uko ngambo, unapata mtoto mdogo ni fan wa kitu kama Manchester, Arsenal, Chelsea, yeye mwenyewe baba yake ameshamregister katika hiyo club na anaendaga na yeye mpaka kwa stadium. Sasa hiyo culture ya fans ndio tunataka tuianze katika AFC Leopards, na tunaomba fans wa respond vizuri kwa hii initiative, tupate numbers ndio AFC Leopards Executive Office iwe na nguvu ikibagain kwa sponsors.
Let me ask you, watu wanaweza get aje in touch na nyinyi kama wanataka kuwa part of this fund recruitment drive?
Contacts zetu ziko hapo, tuliwapeleka contacts kwa ofisi, lakini tutaweka contacts zetu kwa posters, tutaweka posters kwa tunataka tufikie watu wawe tuwe wengi sana wale fans wa AFC Leopards. Sasa contact zetu unazo kwa ofisi, na tutaweka kwa makadi zetu, na tutaweka kwa mtandao, ili hata mtu wowote ambaye anataka kuwa part wa anataka kusaidia tutembee pamoja katika hii recruitment drive, anaweza changia vyovyote, iwe ni mwanasiasa, iwe ni businessman, iwe ni AFC Leopards fan wowote, anaweza kuja tusaidie, tutembee pamoja tuweze kufikisha hiyo namba yetu.
Well, thank you very much, Ronald. As you can see, pale kwa posta wameka namba yao, and that number is 0723201011. 0723201011. Now, what we will do is we're going to share this number on our social media platforms. Kama kuna mtu yote atakuwa na swali, wanaweza tutaweka hiyo contact hapo ili waweze kupiga simu na waweze kutuma message ili waweze kukusikiza wewe na uelezee vyema zaidi. Ronald, asante sana, nimeshukuru.
Sawa, tunashukuru sana kwa wanaingwe, tunasema tutembee pamoja kama wanaingwe, tuweze kufanya team iwe salama.
Well, thank you very much. There you've had it. You have an opportunity. For those of you who are already members, na mko na wale partners, wale watoto ambao bado wanasuasua hawajui wanataka kufanya nini, just register them to be part of the fan recruitment drive of FC Leopards so that we can have enough numbers. Let me tell you, numbers are power. Iko mtu anaitwa Jakiwa Ramoth anasema, we are getting you loud and clear from Enugu village. Thank you very much. Henry anasema, be a member, register now. Kayole chapter ndio kwetu sote. Well, nakwambia watu wanapigia pale wanapigia branches zao debe. Kuna mtu anaitwa Justus Wesonga anakusema, I'm getting you loud and clear at Ruaraka. Well, thank you very much, guys. I'm telling you, your support means so much to me. Now tonight we want to talk about FC Leopards versus Wazito. That is the match that is going to be happening this weekend, our first match of January 2021, and we're going to take this build up very seriously because remember, match day center live pale FC Leopards tutakuwa na wale super analyst Gregory Mulemi, Victor Milimu, and the rest of the panel watakuwa na kupa highlights za vile mechi imekuwa, watakuwa nazungumzia all the analysis on that game. So remember, the match of FC Leopards versus Wazito is this Saturday at 3 p.m. pale Kasarani. Kumbuka, we are not allowed to have fans in the stadium. But let me welcome Gregory Mulemi. Gregory Mulemi, hey, Happy New Year, my brother.
Happy New Year, how are you doing?
I'm very fine, thank you. I'm so happy to see you, Greg.
Glad to see you for the first time getting into this program. It's been wonderful, and I hope that everything you're going to talk about is going to be of importance, and at least the fans will have to learn a thing or two about FC Leopards heading into this match.
Thank you very much, Greg. Let's just get into this match. When we look at our record against Wazito, the last 6 matches, it has been a bit of, we've shared the spoils in each game. FC last won 3-2, Wazito beat FC 2-1, Wazito beat again FC 1-0, we beat Wazito again 1-0, and then FC Leopards won 2-0 against Wazito, and that is a record from 2018 coming all the way to this year. Let's you have been able to watch Wazito play. What do you think Kimanzi will bring coming into this match against Leopards on Saturday?
We all know Kimanzi is one of the most experienced tacticians around in the country because of what he's done throughout his career. From his time in Madara United as a player, he won the Moi Golden Cup, and then coming into managing the team again. They won the league in 2018, being at the helm of it. So this is a very experienced manager who comes in with the mindset of trying to revive our Wazito side that has been a laughing stock for the last 2 years in whatever they are doing, because of all the investments they've tried to put in place, they're not getting the results as wanted. Stuart Hall tried a little bit stabilizing the ship, but then Corona happened, so everyone took a break, and right now it's time to redeem themselves. And we can see from the results they've posted in the last few weeks in the FA Premier League, they've really tried to grind the results, and we know Kimanzi can grind results. So when heading into this match, to be honest, I think this is one of the toughest tests AFC Leopards will face save for this Western Stima match that I can't say that was a disappointment because the results did not reflect whatever was on the ground. I was there, watched the match, and it was really, really disappointing. I managed to watch Wazito when they took on the pitch the following day. I think that's a match they drew. They lost. They lost, and it was quite an unprecedented event because you could see Keeman and his staff plus the CEO having a 1 hour talk. That was on 19th, if I'm not wrong. So they picked up the points later on. They did a very good job versus City Stars in match day 6, and they come into this match presumably as favorites because the last time AFC Leopards took on the pitch was on 18th of December, and they lost by 2 goals to nil to a team that had just traveled on that day, that is Western Stima. So it was quite shocking to those who attended the game, those who watched the game, and the analysis from that game was that complacency is what Leopards need last heading into this match.
Gilbert Selebwa, good evening, karibu sana.
To you, Melaka Mgena, how are you?
We're very fine, thank you. Sasa vile uko diaspora utatusumbua na lugha mpya.
Melaka Mgena is actually Merry Christmas in Ethiopia. They're actually enjoying their Christmas from today and tomorrow. So it's kind of a holiday over here, although we were on the job from 8 o'clock to about 5 p.m.
Okay, Gilbert, let me bring you in. Gregory has just shared some insights on FC Leopards in their last match against Western Stima. We were a bit complacent, scoring 2 goals in under 5 minutes in the dying minutes of the match. Now, you have been able to commentate on a few matches in regards to FC Leopards and maybe Wazito. Gregory Muleni is saying there is a big improvement in Wazito. We have to come into this match very worried because Kimanzi is a good coach. And of course, things are a bit tight for FC Leopards, seeing as that the last time they had a match was on the 18th of December. Wazito, on the other hand, have been playing matches as late as last week. What do you think is at stake for FC Leopards if they lose this match?
Well, everything put at a constant. I think I happened to have watched the highlights of the 2 goals that were scored by Western Stima, and they were actually a long range, either shots or it was just lobs or somebody was trying to bring across, and I think the goalkeeper twice in both situations was out of his line. Now, what is going to be the main undoing about Leopards is that as they have said, Wazito have what we call the match fitness, which AFC Leopards lacks. And 2, they have renewed energy because of the simple fact that they have one of the best tacticians in the country, and the motivation behind it is that the big boss, the owner of the club, does want results put on the table. And Kimanzi is a no-nonsense coach. I mean, everybody wants to please him because the transfer window is just around the corner, and therefore, with all the stakes and the pegs at Wazito, you'd expect that these players will come and give in 100%. So I'm expecting a very, very tough match between AFC Leopards and Wazito. I cannot really call who exactly is going to win the match, but AFC Leopards should be prepared for an outing that should last more than 90 minutes.
Gregory, let's talk about the formation that FC Leopards played during their match against Western Stima. You watched that game, the whole 90 minutes. Just talk us through what worked against FC Leopards in that particular match, because I think when you look at the match statistics, they actually work for FC Leopards, but they were not able to take the 3 points.
I can honestly say that the formation kind of did not favor FC because they possessed the ball, but in the dangerous areas, they could not really make an impact there. Most of the time, you could find that Fabrice and Zuma. The formation was 4-2-3-1 to start with, and it meant that 2 holding midfielders really derailed the penetration of passes towards the opponent's box, and it's something that really hurt the Leopards. You look at how they deployed and how they tried fixing those passes to find that someone like Austin, he really held the ball for too long, thereby starving services to Rupia, whom I can say also on the day he wasn't really up to task because on 3 occasions in the first half, he was on one-on-one situations, and he chose the wrong move, shooting wide, or rather a feeble shot towards the keeper. And this gave Western's team an idea on how to attack the Leopards in the second half, because they knew that they could not possess the ball as the Leopards did, because that's what they did. You find that Leopards had Fabrice Mugeni, they had Austin Odiambo, they had the likes of Jeffrey Owiti Kiongo, who was making his first start in Ingwe colors. His second start rather in Ingwe colors also came in handy, but then you could find that they were really trying hard to, they were trying so much to finish the move without making sure that the build-up was okay. You find that someone like Rupia could get the ball and then just decide to shoot without really keeping calm and deciding where to place the ball or playing with with his teammates. And it's something that really had the Leopards on the day. For Western's team, the goals, if I can remember very well, the first goal they conceded, AFC Leopards conceded after a botched short corner. In that, Leopards started a short corner, Austin passing the ball to Boniface Muhehe, who had just come in. Muhehe miscontrolled the ball, and then he made sure that he followed the ball, the ball that he lost, but then he committed a foul in a very dangerous area, fouling Baron just before the edge of the box. And as you know, free kicks are for anyone to take. If you take it with perfection, then you hurt the opponent. And the second goal was against the run of play also. FC Leopards had gone to attack, and then they left the rear behind. Zuma gets dispossessed, and then you know what happens next. Ochan didn't anticipate for the ball, and it was just lobbed behind, as Gilbert has said. So these are some of the mistakes that really cost Leopards, and you find that these are things that have been happening in matching, especially in the matches that Leopards lose. You find that most of the time it's loss of concentration. Remember Posta Rangers last year in Machakos? Yes. The last minute, boom, they conceded a goal. Against Madare, against Madare again, they conceded a goal in the same fashion. That was last season. So it's something that I think Coach Keeman and Tom Juma, together with Webo and the rest of the technical bench, need really to take in interest in, because you look at the situations which they've dropped points. Keeman knows that this is the weakness this team has. And if they want to prevail against a Wazito side that I can say that when they turn up to the occasion, they can do wonders, then he has to make sure, that is Keeman, he has to make sure that he does not allow such mistakes to happen. But the good thing is that after that short interview we had with him at AFC TV, we saw that he had identified where the mistake was, and he knows that this is what I need to do in my next assignment.
Well, before I get back to you, gentlemen, let me ask our trivia question of the day is, who were the scorers in our last meeting against Wazito? And the question of the day is, who were the scorers in our last meeting against Wazito? Kama uko sure unakumbuka nani alifungia FC Leopards yale magoli matatu ambayo FC Leopards ilishinda hiyo mechi. If you remember, was 3 goals or 2 goals. If you remember the goal scorers, please text us your answer, call us in and tell us what the answer is. Who were the scorers in our last meeting against Wazito? Gilbert, Gregory has said something interesting about our set pieces. When you listen keenly to what he says we were dispossessed twice, one from a short corner and second from a loose ball from Suma that gave Western Steamer the second goal. I'm raising this question about set pieces because I noted even in the game against Sofapaka, as much as we won, there's a way we defend when it comes to set pieces. Gilbert, I don't know if we've had this problem since last season.
Let me weigh in on what my brother has spoken about. You see, Kimani is playing against his former coach, and therefore he does one, respect him, and two, he knows Kimanzi's philosophy. And Madare have always had one way of playing. They have a very strong block in front of the 18-yard box, and they are very, very quick on the break, on the counters. And this is exactly what Kimanzi is going to do. He's not going to attack the way you want him to attack. He will sit back, soak pressure, and at the right moment when you make a miss pass, he will pick that ball and he'll put it in the space. And with speedy wingers, they will cause AFC Leopards a problem. And this is something that happens with teams that that play a very high line. They possess the ball like AFC Leopards. For you to be able to knit the passes together, you need to be close together, and therefore they're going to be very close to each other when they're knitting the passes. Now, if they lose concentration and lose possession of that ball, the counter attacks are going to be very, very effective for Wazito. So that's something that they really need to put in check. Secondly, once they push up, then the goalkeeper should be able at least to push up the field so that he covers the distance between the defenders and the goal, and the goal, so that in case of a counter attack, he can be able to get it and be able to thwart those attacks. So they must be very, very careful, because Kimanzi is very smart. You saw him when he played Kenya versus Zambia. We sat back and hit Zambia on the counter, and they have never changed. They've never changed the way they play. I saw Liverpool. Liverpool against Chelsea. Chelsea pushing so much. So not Liverpool, it's Man City pushing so much up, and then left gaps, and one pass beat them for the second goal. So this is a tradition for teams that play, like nutting the balls around. They have to be careful. FC has to be careful. And I think on set pieces, I'm not sure. I've not watched Wazito play. I don't know who they have as a set piece person, but I think the most important thing is to check on the counter attacks. If they can be able to break down those counter attacks, then they are good to go.
Gregory, let me bring you in and ask you, Gilbert has said that we need to be very careful, especially when it comes to the counter. Let's look at the FC Leopards defense. So far, they've tried to do a good job. However, they've also let in 3 goals. What does this mean for Kamura? Because he's the captain, he's going to be leading from the back. What kind of advice would you expect him to give his defense, especially the wingbacks, keeping in mind that Wazito are going to play the counter-attack kind of football?
First of all, I would like to say that Wazito have very pacey wingers, and that's something that we cannot take away from them. They have one of the best wingers in the country. I know AFC Leopards fans will hate this, but Boniface Omondi, the former Gor Mahia winger, has really been punishing Leopards for the last 3 seasons. And is at Wazito and his feet, and is really playing football, the game of his life. Is really having a good time at Wazito. Kevin Keeman, the former AFC Leopards player, not many people know that he played for AFC Leopards a single match before going to Saudi Arabia. Is one of the most exciting playmakers in the league right now. And looking from watching from the match against City Stars, you could see what Kamudu can do. He terrorized City Stars, made sure that he scored a brace. Very good goals. One from a very good curling free kick, and another one, another brilliant goal. So it shows you that they are not pushovers. Dennis Nganga is another player, one of the best left-footed players we have in the country. A very good wing back. So these are areas that Wazito will use as their strength heading into this match. And for FC Leopard defense, I think it's high time they stopped, I can call it bypassing the midfield, because you look at the match against Western Stima, Colin Shichenje and Kamura really bypassed the midfield, in that they could not settle with the ball, try and create chances from the back. I mean, pass the ball from the back, if I can use a better word. Yes, you could see they could always try and clear the ball from their lines to make sure that they ease the pressure. But the danger is, with that is that when they do so, they give the opponent an advantage. So it's high time they tried passing the ball from the backs, because I know Yusuf Mainge and Kipyegon are good wing backs if well utilized, and I think with their pace and agility on the width, it's something that can give FC Leopards a strength heading into this match. So to me, I think Kamura as the captain needs to know that it's high time he showed it from the back. Play it with confidence as they used to during the era of this former manager who was there on an interim basis, the Tanzanian. I'm just trying to, so such things will give the confidence to the midfielders, because if you pass the ball to someone like Fabrice, this is one player who can hold the ball, pick the right passes, and make sure that you initiate attacks from alternative positions, because right now we know where the AFC Leopards attacks come from the wings. We try give Tiongo the ball, we try give Jafari the ball, and whoever will be deployed in those areas. So if the Leopards defense can be with the greatest, I can say, can be calm, try and play the ball, keep calm. Collins Changer, I know, is a good passer of the ball. He can do that. And then make sure that the midfielders are involved in the game. It makes it easier for someone like Machapo to try and get into the right areas, as they did against Tusker. Because if you watch that game against Tusker, there was a huge difference compared to the game they played against Western Steamer. Here against Tusker, you could see there was calmness. Players passed the ball around. They made sure that they attacked during the right moments, defended in numbers, made sure that the moves began and were initiated at the right moments, not making things in a hurry, then creating panic, and then you start backtracking. It makes people commit a lot of mistakes. So this is what happened there, and I believe that the 3 weeks the boys have had during the break, and then they came back for training. I could see the mood in the camp was very good, very nice. Players are really longing to get this going. I know Modo has changed this, and I'm ready. I can confidently say that I'll be watching a different Leopards in the next 24 hours.
Well, Greg, just don't go anywhere, Gregory. We still have a lot to talk about in regards to FC Leopards taking on Wazito this Saturday at 3 p.m. The Safaricom Kasarani Stadium. Ambaisi, good evening.
Good evening.
Niambie, uko na nini ya kusema, my brother?
Yeah, nimesikia discussion hapo ya defense. Kwanza hiyo time na Greg anasema ilikuwa time ya Kitambi. Dennis Kitambi. Defense tulikuwa tuna play very good from the back. Hapo central defense ningependa kuona combination ya Sichenje na Senaji, because team na Keeman na Tengeleza ni kama hii team the defense lazima ikuwe very comfortable on the ball, na Sichenje na Senaji wako very comfortable on the ball, ni very good passers of the ball. Both of them ni midfielders, but wanaweza cheza defense poa sana. So hiyo combination ningependa sana kuona combination kama hiyo. So far defense yetu iko poa. Sisemi ati Kamura hajacheza poa. Kamura amecheza poa sana, captain amecheza poa sana. Pia Senaji, Sichenje, the three have been used. Pia Roba, tusisahau Roba pia ni central defender mzuri sana. Ule defender the last man, ule anaweza ana total defender, a fighter. Roba ni ule defender fighter kabisa. So kuna games pia tutani Roba. Yes, hivyo ndo naweza sema. Right back Mainge niko very impressed.
Who are the scorers in our last meeting against Wazito? Nani alitufungia hizo mabao?
Against Wazito. Nakumbuka ilikuwa
game yetu ya mwisho yetu.
Nakumbuka ya Bukungu ya Buhungu. Nakumbuka tulikuwa Buhungu. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa the last one ama.
Mimi sikuambi, nikikwambia utajua ni nani mimi. Who are the scorers in our last meeting against Wazito? Imepotea kidogo.
Memory loss. Makwata alifunga tukua Buhungu.
John Mark Makwata. So itabidi asante sana Ambaisi.
Alafu one last thing before nikate. Kama as a fan kuna kitu nimenotice about Owiti Jaffa akicheza on the left side, kwa sababu yeye ni righty. Akikuwa na hiyo chance ya kucut from the left side, ako more dangerous kushinda akicheza on the right side. So the last two match ile na Jaffa amecheza on the left, nimeona a very great improvement, na pia dribbling yake ako very comfortable. Yes.
Wacha tutauliza Gregory Mulemi what he thinks about it. Engalola.
Yes, habari yako. Habari yako.
Mzuri sana, happy new year.
Happy New Year to you.
Unatupata ukiwa wapi?
Doha, Qatar.
Karibu sana watu wa diaspora branch.
Diaspora
Sema
Facebook
maneno.
ndo branch yetu. Mimi sina maneno, ni encourage vijana wacheze ball poa. Tunataka ushindi. Tumekuwa tukilong for this glory. So at least timu wako watupatie kitu tutabasamu.
Encouragement to the boys. Kama umekuwa ukifuata AFC Leopards hata ukiwa kule Qatar, ni nani alifungia AFC Leopards in our last meeting against Wazito? Unaweza kumbuka?
Wazito ilikuwa Makwata, I think Makwata na Oburu, if I'm not wrong.
John Mark Makwata na Oburu ndio jibu yako, but thank you very much for encouraging the boys to at least play well and give us some hope. Unajua at least hata wao wanafaa kujua tuko nyuma yao zaidi kabisa, lakini pia wao watupe kitu ya kusmile about. Hopefully this match against Wazito tutashinda.
We are hoping for that and we are praying for that, kwa sababu Wazito sio timu ya kutisha. Wazito tumekuwa milele na history kwa soka ya Kenya. So at least waonyeshe the glory in tulipoteza for the last few seasons, we can regain it and still command the East African region.
Well, thank you very much, Engalola. I appreciate you making time to join us right here on Ingwe Fanzone. Now remember, our trivia question of the day is, who were the scorers in our last meeting against Wazito? Who were the scorers in our last meeting against Wazito? Adele, good evening.
Good evening.
Unatupata ukiwa wapi ndugu yangu?
From Machakos,
So, kuna lipi ya kusema kuhusu FC Leopards na Wazito mechi yetu on Saturday?
Kwanza na wish the best, and let us take that game with a lot of cautiousness, because I think Wazito will come with their defensive minded. Keeman is a defensive coach. In fact, sasa wako poa sana, au wako midfield wako fiti. So maybe what AFC is to do is to compact our defense. Then I know the battle itakuwa between the midfielders. I don't have doubts na our striker, I know he's sharp. Na niko sure watashinda. Hiyo ni sure bet. Yes.
Nasema hiyo ni sure bet ya kwamba FC Leopards itashinda Wazito. Umesema kwamba itakuwa battle of the midfield. How do you think the match will end? Score prediction yako ni gani?
The match may end with 2-1 in favor of AFC.
2-1 in favor of AFC Leopards. Well, thank you very much. Remember, if you want to be part of this analysis, part of the team that shows you exactly what is happening, you can join us on our social media handle pages. On Facebook, it's FC Leopards SC. On Instagram, at FC Leopards _SC. On Twitter, at FC Leopards SC, and on YouTube, FC Leopards SC. That is the only way you can make sure that you are getting in touch with us and knowing exactly what is going on with our beloved club. Now let's get back to the analysis. Gregory Mulemi and Gilbert Celebwa. The fans are saying very interesting things here. Greg, we've had Adair say that it's going to be a battle of the midfield, and that was going to be my next question, gentlemen. Let's look at our midfield. We are spoiled for choice, but what combination do you think will work when playing with a team like Wazito? Gilbert?
Well, I think it's not even going to be about the midfield. It's going to be the team tactics. I think choosing the right moments to be able to defend and the right moments to be able to attack. Because those moments are going to change. Those moments in football are going to change. And the players must be privy to this. As I've told you and indicated previously, is that Kimanzi is the student meeting the teacher. And with that knowledge, I think it is very, very important for FC Leopards to not rush into this game, but try and study what Kimanzi's up to in the first few minutes of the game, and then maybe be able to activate their game plan from that point. Because if they just decide to go all out, I can assure you that Kimanzi will sit back on most part. He will sit back. He will sit back as long as he can. He will absorb pressures as much as he can. And at that particular moment, when you guys lose possession of the ball, that is when he's going to act. And once he acts and he scores a goal, they will sit back again. So it's a question of I'm not a big fan of starting from the back, especially when you have players who are not very comfortable on the ball, because he might decide that you're starting from the back. He might decide to put a lot of pressure on AFC Leopards. I was there in the match that we played against Tusker in Kericho, when my brother from Kitambi was the coach, and I was there as the team manager. Yes, we were very fluid in building from the back, but Tusker had only one thing to do. They put pressure on us, and you remember the first goal that Andika conceded. So if we are not comfortable at the back, I think the best thing is maybe to go up and play with the second ball, play with the strikers and have your midfielders close in and win the balls in Wazito's half. But I've not watched Leopards play this season. I've been away in Addis, and I'm looking forward possibly this weekend, because I'll be back tomorrow, and I should be able to join you guys to see how Ingwe is playing and be able to advise from that point.
Oh, thank you very much, Gilbert. Gregory, let's look at our midfield. We have the likes of Thiong, we have the likes of Suma, we have the likes of Austin, we have the likes of Fabrice. What do you think, or which players do you think would be best placed to, play in this match against Wazito, having watched the last match Wazito played?
Definitely, I don't expect many changes from the team that played against Western Timor, because it's the trusted lineup Mr. Keeman has used in most of the games he's played this season. I expect Fabrice to maintain his spot, because he's been the brightest of the midfielders we have currently. One of the best foreign imports I've watched play for Leopards in the last few seasons. I think he's very confident on the ball. He knows what to do with the ball. He knows when to, and I think they should use him more, because there are times he could hold the ball, look for whom to pass the ball to. You find that all the players that were all the players don't, then is fouled, then the free kick, that's slowing the game. It's not something that we are used to. So Fabrice is one player I really count to start. Said Zuma, the experienced defensive midfielder, is one of the best players suited for such games because of his hard tackling and making sure that he breaks the opponent runs. And he has also a spot for spaces, because you look at the way he picks pockets from midfield. It's something that can really help AFC Leopards. I'm not sure if Austin will play, but if he does, is one boy I really place my prospect on, because he's one person we can always rely on, especially when we want that fast break. All he needs to do is to release the ball early, and we are good to go. But if he's not there, I'd love to see Marvin Nabuire start, because this is one of the players that everyone has been talking about. He missed a chunk of last season through a knee injury, but right now he's back. He's not broken into the squad because of the likes of Fabrice and Austin being in good form. And then we have the likes of Kiongo and maybe Jafari. Not sure if Celestino Lilo can start there. Sorry?
Gregory, if I may, we keep forgetting about Harrison Mwendwa. I don't know when Harrison Mwendwa is going to play, because I feel he has the experience. Probably he would be a good addition to this match. I just giving my opinion, because we've not seen him play much this season.
AFC Leopards has very, very good wingers. I've not even touched about Celestino. It's not Celestino Lilo, but Mr. Collins Olilo is one of the best. I know Celestino will be like, I'm not a AFC Leopards player. Yeah. No. Olilo. one of the players I really love watching on the ball, the boy from Jericho All Stars all the way to Nairobi Steamer, is one of the midfielders that not many expected that he could break ranks into the AFC Leopards team, but he's shown that he's capable of doing great things with the ball. And it's something that we really wish that if it happens, then it will cause Wazito problems. But then there's this thing about our wingers, the final delivery. I think that's one area that Harrison Mwendwa and then Mbaisi said here, the decisions they make with the final ball, it's something that can really help the boys break down that Wazito defense. Because you look at Wazito, they line up, they play at 3-5-2 that is very effective. Bernard, the captain, they call him Mwalimu, there's Omurwa, and then we have the likes of Shikai, we have the likes of Dennis Nganga playing from the left flanks, and then there's the midfield battle that we were talking about. Yes.
Gregory, if we may, let's just listen to what Jones. Yeah, let's just listen to what Jose Jones and Onyancha have to say before I bring you back in. Jose Jones, vipi ndugu yangu?
Po. Hello.
Unasema vipi?
Kidogo.
Hello, nakupata lakini uko na kelele kwako. Hiyo kelele iko nyingi sana hapo kwako, hatukupati vizuri. Onyancha. Jose Jones, unatupata? I think he's going to sort out his sound. Onyancha? Jose Jones and Onyancha, you are joining us. Amabado. Well, let's just continue with the discussion, gentlemen. We are spoiled for choice right now when it comes to squad depth and all these things. As you
Gregory, ambia Midima wache kukanyaga waya.
Well, sorry for that technical hitch, but now we are back. You've said we are spoiled for choice, Gregory, but again, it's going to be all about combination and chemistry when it comes to the match against Wazito. But there's this particular man I'd like us to talk about, Ochan, the goalkeeper. Well, he, in the match against Sofapaka, when it came to the last minutes, I was a bit concerned about his concentration. When it came to Western Steamer, they ensured that they got the 3 points. What does Ochan need to work on aside from his concentration, especially in the dying minutes of the match, Gilbert?
Well, I think Ochan is a very, very experienced goalkeeper. With no doubt, he's a very, very experienced goalkeeper, Uganda international. And I think in the past few matches, just before we got back to this season, he kept quite a number of clean sheets. And I think his command at the back is going to be very, very supreme. He needs to organize his defense such that any balls that come to him is at balls that the defense could not be able to deal with. And I think with Kamura and Shichenje and my young man from Ziwani, if they can be able to play in sync together collectively as a compact unit, I think they played to this level before. And once they protect Ochan, then it's going to be very easy for them to be able at least to have confidence moving forward. But when your defense is leaking, then even the forward line and the midfielders tend to drop back and try to give you support. But when they are working out in tandem, it becomes easy for the team to be able to move forward.
Gregory, let's talk about Elvis Rupia. I know there's a lot of pressure on him right now, but do you think there's one time young Seven who says Rupia should not focus much on being top scorer, but he should ensure we get the goals up front. I don't know if Gregory is still there, but Gilbert.
Yes, please.
Let's talk about Elvis Rupia. The pressure on him right now is going to be massive, of course. We are seeing the likes of KCB and doing very well on at the top. Gregory, Elvis Rupia is going to have a lot of pressure coming into this match. What do you make?
I think Rupia is one of the finest finishers we have at the moment in the league, because you look at the goal returns. He scored in every match save for the game against Western Team, and it shows you that he's sharp, he's agile, he knows what he wants, he knows his ambitions as a player, and he knows what he needs also to help the club achieve what it's not achieved for the last 2 decades. So Rupia, to me, if he stays calm, against Western Team, I can say he wasn't calm, maybe because of the pressure of wanting to extend his goals and become top in the leading chart, in the chart. I think this time round, he has known that he needs to calm down, make sure that he scores the goals, because right now he has 6, something that not many strikers have done, because only Kapaito is ahead of him with 7. Rupia, he knows that he's carrying the shoulders of every Leopard fan heading into this match. He's facing his former side, that is Wazito. Remember, he left Wazito not under very good terms. He wasn't really pleased to live there, but when he came to Leopards, he came home. I can put that home, because when he came in, he saw he settled well. He scored very vital goals for the Leopards and helped them finish 6th before the COVID pandemic struck and the league was abandoned. So to me, Rupia knows that he can get the job done, but this means that he also has to make sure that he utilizes the chances that are being created by the wingers, the midfielders, and everyone in the team. And he knows that, and he should also know that when he wants to score more goals, he should make his work easier, not struggle so much, because when he struggles so much, he becomes frustrated, and when he becomes frustrated, then you find that he might not really get the goals that Leopards need. And you also look at the bench power. We have the players like there are several strikers. The young boy Sydney is there. There's Shaka, a very good cover up for Rupia. So whoever is deployed there must know that it's the team that comes first before the individuals. Because if the team achieves what they want during the match and get the 3 points, then everyone goes home happy. And all these things will just fall in place, because you can look at the greatest strikers in Europe, in Asia. Look at Olunga; he scored so many goals, but at least he was scoring goals that helped the team. So we don't need Rupia to score 4 goals and we concede 5. We need Rupia to score 1 goal and make us get the 3 points.
Well, there you have it. He says Rupia just has to ensure that we're taking the 3 points home. Now, there's someone here saying, let's talk about Mukangula and Sad, very skillful midfielders, but why are they not breaking into the team? That's a question from Gladys Ambaisi.
Well, I think football is about merit. It's about merit, and at times your last game also determines on whether you're going to feature in the squad or not. So with so much quality in Leopards, especially in the midfield area, I think it is important that Mukangula and Saad, of course, they've given a very good account of themselves in previous matches, but I think with the incoming of the youngsters, the likes of Thiongo was used to score at will while he was at Kakamega Homeboys. He has not even broken into it, meaning that we have what we call depth. So I think it only asks for the other players to be able at least to work extra hard, and once they get an opportunity, they should be able to, stamp on authority, and they should be able to feature in the matches as we move on.
Well, remember our trivia question of the day is who were the scorers in our last meeting against Wazito? Well, if you know the answer to that, just put them on our social media handle pages. On Facebook, it's FC Leopards SC. On Twitter, at FC Leopards SC. On Instagram, unaweza weka pia na picha yako at FC Leopards _SC. And on YouTube, it's FC Leopards SC. Now, let's wrap up this discussion, gentlemen, because this is one match. I know I'm going to be seeing you guys on Match Day Center on Saturday, but let's talk about the importance of this match towards the build-up of the derby on the 21st. Now, on the same weekend, we are playing Wazito. Gor Mahia is playing Kariobangi Sharks, and of course, we have to keep an eye on them because you know, that's how it is. We just have to keep an eye on our rivals because the derby is going to be coming to you on the 21st of January. It's going to be FC Leopards taking on Gor Mahia on the 21st of January. But let's talk about the importance of every match that comes before that derby, including this test against Wazito. Now, this is not the same Wazito that we used to play 2 seasons ago and say Wazito ni wepesi. No, a lot has changed. They have a stable coach, as Mulemi Gregory has put it. As Gilbert Celebo has said, this is going to be a true test of character against a student and his teacher. And what will this mean for FC Leopards? Gilbert, let's look at it on technicality basis right now. It's going to be who holds their cards closest to their chest. What tricks do you think, aside, you've already given us Amwakenya on what Kimanzi will do, but let's just try and encourage the boys and, you know, use the few tricks that they have to, you know, the individual brilliance. Do you think individual brilliance will work coming towards this match?
Well, there are times when individual brilliance comes into play, especially when you're playing against a team that is playing with a low block. A low block meaning that a team that is playing closer to their 18-yard box. It's normally sometimes very difficult to break down this kind of a team. So in case Kimanzi decides to play with a low block, then there are two things that are going to happen. Is you might call upon your best players, individual players with the individual brilliance to be able at least to break down the defense. Two, you might be called upon to use what we call diagonal passes. Diagonal passes where you find your outside midfielders cutting through the inside and becoming strikers, and then the deliveries from the midfield right behind the back four of Wazito and being met by one of the, either of the two offensive players, and you get a strike at goal. So I think at this point in time, it's just a question of being a little bit more patient in your build-up and trying to learn the opponent as quickly as possible, because whoever masters the opponent's game plan then will definitely run away with this one. But as far as I'm concerned, don't even think about the derby, because the derby is just one game out of the many games that you guys are supposed to play. So I think it is important to approach a match one after the other, deal with the match that is ahead of you, and think about the other match after you finish the one that you've played. So I think everything is cut out for Kimani. He knows that he's meeting his master. He knows how his master plans, and therefore him to be able to beat his master, he must counter exactly what he knows about the master. And I think it's going to be very easy with Tom Juma by his side and Webo by his side. I think these three fellows, young as they are, they should be able to plot a plan on how to be able to go past this Wazito side.
Well, there you have it. Remember, the match is FC Leopards versus Wazito this Saturday at 3 p.m. and Match Day Center will be live on AFC TV. And this gentleman telling you, umesikia ile analysis ambayo wako nayo, we are going to have an absolutely amazing team on standby. Now, the trivia question of the day was, who were the scorers in our last meeting against Wazito? Before we get to that answer, Gregory Mulemi, your parting shot as we prepare to watch this game on Saturday.
I think Leopards need to bounce back because it was a horrendous show against Western Stima. They need to show the resilience and why they should be champions, because everyone is touting them to be champions this season. They need to bounce back, show the rest of the world that they can do it. They have the players and the quality and the staff who are able to make sure that they steer Leopards to the top and make sure that they are winners. They have a chance right now. They top the league. They know that if they win this match, they'll be closing the gap on KCB, who are having a very good season. And remember, they're playing KCB soon. They're playing Kariobangi Sharks soon. They're playing Posta Rangers soon. So these are not easy fixtures. Forget about Gor Mahia, as Gilbert said. This is a match that a match against Gor Mahia is just any other match. We saw them get beaten yesterday somewhere in Nairobi, and they lose also other games. They played one match in the Kenya Premier League. They've lost it. So it's not strange if they lose other matches, and this is the perfect time for AFC Leopards to show character. And I know that if they turn up the occasion, then fans will be celebrating about better things in the coming future. I believe that Leopards, if they approach that match the way Gilbert has said, then there's nothing that is going to stop them from getting the 3 points.
Well, you've said something very interesting. We have our next 3 fixtures. We're going to be playing KCB, Kariobangi Sharks, and Posta Rangers. And of course, you have to keep an eye on who is ahead of you and who is coming behind you. And you've talked about KCB and how Coach Zico has actually done an absolutely amazing job from his recruitment to how he's playing on the pitch. Now, that is going to be a fixture that we are going to be talking about right here on Ingwe Fanzone next week on Thursday, as we get ready to host Wazito this weekend. Remember, this Saturday it is FC Leopards versus Wazito FC at 3 p.m. Now, our next 3 fixtures will be KCB. Then after that, we face Kariobangi Sharks. And after that, we face the Sami Pamzo Omolo Boys of Posta Rangers. And as the gentlemen here have said, FC Leopards just have to take it one game at a time. They have to make sure that they are taking the points one game at a time. Focus, concentrate, give us teamwork, and then give us the results. Well, gentlemen, I have to say thank you very much for making time to be with me right here on Ingwe Fanzone. I really appreciate. Thank you for the great analysis that you have given us, and I'm telling you, the feedback is absolutely amazing. Now, the answer to today's trivia question is John Mark Makwata scored a brace in the 2-0 win against Wazito in Machakos. A few of you got it right. Wale mlisema Oburu, hapana, hapo mulikosea. So just make sure that you stay tuned to FCTV here on Ingwe Fanzone. And remember, this Saturday, Match Day Center will be live. We are going to be bringing you analysis of FC Leopards versus Wazito. That is the match that we're going to be having this Saturday. So thank you very, very much for everyone who made it possible today. I'm just reminding you that our social media handle pages are on FC Leopards. On Facebook, it's AFC Leopards SC. On Twitter, at FC Leopards. On YouTube, FC Leopards SC. On Instagram, FC Leopards _SC. And on that note, I'd just like to remind you that you can get our replica jerseys on Moy Avenue. We need to correct that. Producer Samuel is on Moy Avenue Street, and that is where you can get the jersey. Remember to don your jersey on Match Day on Saturday as you join us on FCTV as we do the Match Day Center. Well, thank you very, very much for joining us this evening. God bless you, and see you next week on Saturday right here on Ingwe Fanzone. But remember, on next week on Thursday on Ingwe Fanzone. But remember, on Saturday it is all about Match Day Center, where we bring to you live analysis of FC Leopards versus Wazito, 3 p.m. Thank you very much, and God bless.